back. Today we are going to discuss extrication and rescue of a trapped victim. I am Dr. S. Prakash Babu, HOD, Department of Emergency Medicine, PS Institute of Medical Sciences and Research. First we will go to the definitions. What is the definition of trapped victim? Trapped means a confining and undesirable circumstance from which escape or relief is difficult. What do you mean by extrication? Is the process of freeing someone from a constraint or a difficulty. What is rescue? It is an act of saving or being saved from danger or difficulty. So extrication and rescue appear to be similar words. What is the difference between extrication and rescue? In extrication, you are freeing a patient or victim from an undesirable situation. In rescue, apart from freeing, you are helping him medically to save his life. So that is the difference between extrication and rescue. What are the objectives of this lecture? By the end of this lecture, you will be able to understand the concept of reading the wreckage, know how to assess safety in casualty extrication scenarios, be able to formulate A plan and B plan. You will be able to understand how to communicate the rescue plan to other people involved in the rescue. You will know the basic techniques available to the fire service to make space in order to free the casualty, and you will be able to know how to safely extricate a patient from a damaged vehicle. Motor vehicle collisions are the common cause of mortality and morbidity, not only in India but worldwide. Rescue phase is the most complex and challenging phase. Once you have rescued the patient, it will be very easy to treat and save the life. A whole rescue team should be able to communicate in a shared language. Each one of them cannot be talking in different languages. All of them should have a common language to communicate with each other. This you can develop by holding combined trainings frequently. Joint training and education can help in better management of the teams. So we have been talking about team. What is this rescue team? Rescue team consists of medical team, firefighters and police personnel. Senior most firefighter available will act as team leader. The senior most medic will coordinate and direct the whole team. Medical team will cater for the treatment needs. Firefighting team will work on extrication, and the police team will be working on crowd control and control of the situation. The first thing you need as soon as you get into the scene is to assess the scene. You are going to look for any dangers associated with the scene and the mechanisms that have triggered the events. So while assessing the scene, you will be looking for the mechanism of the incident, how the incident might have happened, what are the forces involved, what is the rate of deceleration, number and types of casualties you need to assess, make a prediction on the nature and severity of injuries. So this whole process, right from deciding the mechanism of the incident, rate of deceleration, the amount of forces involved, number of casualties, making prediction on nature of the severity of the injuries is called reading the wreckage. So extrication and clinical stabilization should occur concurrently. You cannot wait for the patient to be completely extricated to assess the patient and to stabilize him. They both should go hand in hand. Extrication team will be working physically on the vehicle to extricate or free the patients. Medical team will be working on accessing and managing the casualty as early as possible. The management starts still the casualty is inside the vehicle. Each team should communicate to know about others' constraints and progresses. So this picture shows the activities performed by each of the teams. The casualty care team tasks are rapid access and assessment of the victims, treatment and monitoring. Extrication team tasks include vehicle stability, glass management, and space making. Shared tasks for the both teams include safety, planning, and removal of the casualty from the vehicle. If you want to read the wreckage, you need to describe anatomy of the vehicle, which vehicle has involved in the crash. Suppose a car goes and collides with a lorry. Because of the heavier mass of the lorry and its higher stature, it will not be damaged much. But car is placed lower and the mass is lower, so obviously the car will get damaged mostly. The modern cars will have crippling points. Whenever a crash occurs, those are the points where the crippling occurs, and that allows the force to be transmitted unevenly. The crippling points will cripple and take all the force, and the occupant chamber will be free. So the occupants of the vehicle can be saved to some extent. So whenever you're describing anatomy of a vehicle, we use car as an example. So car has mainly, any vehicle you need to have the pillars. So these are the pillars. The first one running over the windshield up to the driver is called the A post. The one between the two seats is called B post, and the last one is called C post. If the vehicle is bigger and has many posts, D, C, E, you will go on like that. Safety is the first goal, and it's the responsibility of everyone involved in the team. Safety means three phases to it: personal safety, scene safety, and safety of the patient. Personal safety, you will be wearing appropriate PPE for the situation. Scene safety is usually managed by the police and the firefighters and involves conducting the rescue operations, fire prevention, and traffic management. Safety of the patient is the job of the medical team. Patient protection while creating space and prevention of hypothermia are two most notable points in patient safety. Then you should rapidly access and assess the patient. Whatever small space is available, get to the patient, try to talk to the patient, and do a primary survey. Primary survey includes a very brief interaction with the patient, check his ability to respond, whether he is moving all four limbs or not, check the degree of physical entrapment. So these things will enable you to make a plan. How are you going to intervene and how early you are going to intervene. Check your vitals if possible at the station. Start appropriate treatment such as analgesia, oxygen supplementation, IV fluids as necessary. Planning. During planning, you need to decide whether a rapid extrication is needed or you can go for a slow extrication. Factors favoring the need for rapid extrication include occupant and immediate physical risk, a significant risk of fire or significant airway compromise. This is one of the situations where you need to rapidly extricate the patient and give medical assistance for improvement. Unmanageable medical problems include obstructed airway that cannot be dealt with in situ. Factors favoring more thorough extrication. You will completely open the vehicle and slowly and carefully take the patient out. What are the situations? Patient's handling is more controlled. Potential benefits for clot stability and spinal control. The rescue team issues are taking a slower approach usually means more considered movement and around damaged vehicle, which is generally safer for those in the team and may lead to a more stable platform for the patient. These needs may conflict and the rescue team should make a dynamic management decision and planning. There are two types of plans we already discussed. One is rapid extrication, and the second one is a more thorough extrication. These are named as A plan and B plan. A plan is a controlled release of the casualty with gentle and complete spinal immobilization, which is thorough extrication. You make complete room around the patient and you extricate the patient. Occupant is brought out of the vehicle along their long axis. Standard A plan approach involves a roof fold down. That means you are cutting open the roof. The vehicle is on its four wheels and you are allowing excellent space. If legs are trapped under the dashboard, dash roll or dash lift technique can be used to free the legs. A plan can be wrongly interpreted as a slow technique, but even this has to be conducted with appropriate urgency. You have to conduct even A plan with a sense of urgency only. B plan. B plan is the immediate release of the patient with simple planning and minimal space making. There is a potential for more movement of the spine and increased damage of the victim. Change from A plan to B plan is made in case of sudden deterioration of the victim is noted. An effective B plan should be completed within a period of 1 to 2 minutes. See the urgency. You have to extricate the patient and intervene within 1 to 2 minutes. Then once the patient is extricated, it's the job of the EMS personnel to treat and monitor the patient. While the patient is in the vehicle, you approach CABC technique, that is, look for catastrophic hemorrhage, give a manual compression with or without tourniquet, without topical hemostatic agent, and control the catastrophic hemorrhage. Look at the airway and support the airway with simple adjuncts, and if secretions are there, suction of the secretions. The simple airway adjuncts include a simple oxygen face mask and a finger mount pulse oximeter. Control the cervical spine by manual stabilization. You can apply or may not apply a rigid collar while the patient is inside the vehicle. Look for breathing, assess the breathing, needle compression if you are suspecting a tension pneumothorax, a walled bandage if you are suspecting a penetrating chest wound which is communicating with the thoracic cavity can be performed in situ. Check the circulation, obtain a vascular access as early as possible, and give analgesics. Start an IV fluids if you suspect patient might go into hypothermia or shock. Check for neurological disability. Assess the GCS and the pupils to come to a conclusion about patient's intracranial injury. Exposure and environment. Cover the victim and avoid hypothermia if hypothermia is a possibility. Monitor using simple finger mounts pulse oximeter. If you cannot connect extensive cables to the patient while the patient is in situ, because those cables and the IV lines can interfere with your free extrication of the patient. So these are the extrication team tasks. Stability, glass management, and space making is the duty of the extrication team, mostly 5 personnel. Avoid movement or vibration of the vehicle. Stabilize the vehicle first so that it will not move or vibrate to cause more injuries. Manage the glass to make space and avoid uncontrolled breakage. Use a glass cutter and cut open the glass in a controlled fashion. Space making, usually roof removal technique is used. If you cannot go for roof removal, a road door or windscreen opening in B plan extrication can be used. If the vehicle is upside down, landing on its roof, you can go for B post rip. Dash roll or dash lift technique is used to free the legs from the dashboard. This is a way to show application of the long board. Initially, you slide two teardrops behind the patient, manually stabilize your cervical spine, and apply a rigid collar on the cervical spine. Behind the teardrops, you push the long board, and by 6-man technique, which will come to later, you will be shifting the patient onto the backboard completely by 6-man roll technique. So typical movement during rescue, that is putting on the backbone, manual inline stabilization is maintained, and you apply a rigid collar. There will be a lifter for the right shoulder, one lifter for the left shoulder, one lifter for the right hip, and one lifter for the left hip. Someone to disentangle the legs and feet during early phase of the movement, and to hold the feet together. So 6 people are needed, and someone will take care of monitor and intravenous fluid lines, usually paramedic. Once you are extricated, you cannot leave the patient. You have to continue with post-extrication care, which includes moving the casualty to a pre-designated casualty reception area, which is typically located 5 to 10 meters away from the crashed vehicle. You need to do a rapid assessment as indicated earlier and triage the patient appropriately. Secure the patient to a long backboard and transport onto a transporting vehicle. Shift the patient to an appropriate hospital. There are some tips from the field, from experts who have been working in the field. Safety is always paramount importance. If the scene is not safe, you will not enter the scene. Get an early access to the patient and make a plan early in the course of extrication. Communicate with the other team's emergency personnel and agree a target time for release. Secure B plan option early. Minimize unnecessary medical intervention within the vehicle. Demonstrate effective leadership and communication skills throughout the period of extrication and management. Be prepared to change plan at any time. Suppose you notice a patient suddenly deteriorating in the course. You have to immediately shift from A plan to B plan, extricate the patient, and stabilize his vitals. Identify casualty assessment area in which to carry out primary survey, essential treatment, and packaging before transport. These about extrication of a trapped victim. There is no real ending, it's just the place we pause the story. We'll continue with other lectures. Thank you very much.